Hafa, welcome to Weekend Edition. I am Ken Quintanilla. Glad you could join us. By the end of this year, a new partnership will be finalized to help strengthen the ties between Guam and the CNMI. Here's more.
Well, this is exciting. Whenever you can build bridges, it's always a good thing when you can share resources too.
Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands already collaborate on a number of things, including partnerships in times of natural disaster. If a memorandum of agreement is finalized, our bond may be even closer.
Both governors have been looking for opportunities in more ways than one to collaborate on a number of initiatives, whether it's operational nature within the respective branches or major policy initiatives, where they could leverage resources or otherwise just collaborate to improve the quality of life for their respective communities.
As for this new partnership, Bureau of Statistics and Plans Director Will Castro says this would involve establishing a CNMI liaison and medical referral office at Adelup.
It would send a very important message that both islands have agreed to work together harmoniously and to acknowledge the fact that the only thing separating us was a body of water.
According to a release, the draft MOA stipulates that the government of Guam and the CNMI government commit to working in good faith in areas of regional policy, joint resource utilization toward the development of economic linkages and community outreach. Castro says hosting the Guam Community Affairs Office alongside the CNMI Liaison and Medical Referral Office in Adelup will forge a strong dialogue on how to assist families.
When we think about these liaison offices, we commonly think about things like medical referral services, but in fact, there are transit opportunities. I mean, there are people who come here for lengthened stay. There are folks from the CNMI who come here for education, extended educational stay. And I personally know of CNMI relatives of mine who are having some difficulty in transitioning for more permanent housing.
This effort is spearheaded by Castro and Ivan Blanco, a special assistant for the Office of Public Information and Protocol in the CNMI. Castro was recently elected to the Guam legislature, and Blanco was elected to the CNMI House of Representatives.
This is so important symbolically that we're acknowledging the fact that regional cooperation is required if we're going to be competitive in a time and an era where resources are scarce.
In the next few weeks, CNMI Governor Ralph Torres and staff are set to come to Guam for a site visit before the MOA is finalized. After having been nominated to sit as one of the governor's appointees to the Guam Education Board, Dr. Ron McNinch will face senatorial scrutiny the Monday after Thanksgiving, going before the Guam legislature. The required nomination hearing will consider the UOG political science professor's qualifications to sit as a board member amid controversial times, including very public termination of the superintendent's contract, leading to squabbles within the board and dismissal of 2 previous members. Dr. McNinch says his instructions from the governor are simply to be transparent, follow the law, and protect the interests of Guam's public school children, their parents, and the community. The Committee on Rules will be meeting on Monday to set the agenda for the November session. This will mark the first session since the general election. Several measures that could be on the agenda include a pair of bills related to strengthening the rules and regulations for medicinal marijuana. The Committee on Rules is set to meet November 21st at 2 p.m. Also on Monday, state funeral services will be held for former Senator Gordon Mayo. He served as senator in the 20th and 21st Guam legislatures. Additionally, Mayo was a KUAM correspondent and reporter for CBS. The state funeral is set for Monday, November 21st at the legislature, starting at 9 a.m. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the Earth's oceans, but a private research vessel aims to bridge that gap by conducting groundbreaking research into the micro layer that connects the ocean and the atmosphere. The vessel stopped in Guam this week. Here's more.
Yeah, well, it was a long expedition. It was a 5-week long, very intense expedition. We departed from Darwin, Australia, and then went through the Timor Sea and up to the Pacific Ocean and got here to Guam.
Monica Naranjo is the outreach coordinator for the Thelker, a research vessel from the Schmidt Ocean Institute. The institute was founded by Google executive Eric Schmidt and his wife, Wendy. It stopped in Guam following a lengthy trip studying a relatively unknown part of the ocean, known as the sea surface microlayer.
It's the part where the air touches the water, and it's as thin as a hair. So, but actually, everything that comes into the ocean or out of the ocean has to go through that boundary layer. And the chemistry and the biology and everything that goes on in there, it's completely different from the water that is just below it. So everything is transformed once it crosses that barrier, but we don't know a lot about it, and because it's so difficult to study.
Scientists were able to use innovative research methods to study the layer through over 400 water samples, in the hopes that this information could lead to more accurate models used to predict the impacts of climate change.
So in this expedition, what was also very exciting was not only that the science that we were doing was so novel, but also how we were doing the science. So we use unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, if you want to call them that, for the first time, using them to carry scientific instruments away from the ship, because the ship is a metal structure, so it can affect the water that is around it.
Aside from these drones, scientists aboard the Falker also used a remotely operated catamaran. She said these new and innovative instruments and techniques are available to any scientists who apply and are accepted to study aboard the Falker.
If you're a scientist and you think you have something that's worth studying in the ocean, then you apply for time in the Falcon, and you go through a very rigorous process. And then if your proposal was accepted, then you are very lucky to have access to all the instruments that we have on board, and you come sail with us and conduct the science. And because we understand that in order to learn from the planet we live in, it is imperative that we understand better the ocean, and that is so unexplored, and we have so little resources globally dedicated exclusively to understanding our oceans, that's our mission, to just better our understanding and also push the technology that we're using in order to study the ocean.
The Falker will be back in Guam this December for a transit trip to Hawaii. While in Guam, scientists will be conducting outreach activities in the community.
They're the first on the scene during natural disasters and other calamities that pose harm to human health. And this week, first responders from Guam and the region received critical training on how best to respond in the aftermath of disasters. Here's more.
When disaster strikes, every second counts.
If something happens to this patient and they do not survive, this is the situation that we want it to happen in, not in real life when a life really truly matters.
Kathy Wall is a senior training specialist with the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service, which conducted a medical management of chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive events training in Guam this week. Office of Homeland Security and Civil Defense spokesperson Jenna Gamindi said over 60 people throughout the region attended.
It's very important for our area, especially where we're located geographically. We get a lot of people coming from not only the mainland, but also the other countries as well. This is a throughway for a lot of people to travel through this area.
The training helps first responders react to some of the most stressful and complex situations, whether they are naturally occurring or terroristic in nature.
How do you respond to a certain event? Do these patients need to have decontamination done before I can actually touch them, depending on what they've come in contact with? Do I have to be wearing some specific protective gear in order to contact these patients? And then also, what type of care do they actually need?
Aside from lectures on best practices, participants, including military officials, were also able to put their skills to the test using lifelike mannequins as patients.
You have pulses, their eyes blink, their eyes will react to light, they're breathing. If you look at their chest, you'll see it rising up and down. They can talk, they can say things. As you see, he coughs.
The training has been conducted in Guam in the past. It also comes following heightened tensions in the region, stemming from North Korean nuclear tests and an increased military presence on the island.
New members of the Volunteer Peer Mentor Corps were sworn in by Judge Maria Senz on Thursday morning. The mentors are either active duty or veterans of the armed forces and provide support and encouragement to those in the Guam Veterans Treatment Court. The Guam VTC was activated in 2010 as a therapeutic court rooted in evidence-based treatment. The goal of the 11 new volunteers sworn in this week is to build relationships with veterans in the legal system in order to improve their chances of law-abiding behavior and sobriety. Stay tuned next on Weekend Edition PXC 55 highlights and later the Guam Crime Stoppers report. Keep it here.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming, KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants enroll today.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I have the one just for you.
We're increasing the amount of 4G LTE data on our new rate plans, giving people more of what they want to do more of the things they want.
So what do you think?
Nice.
RT Trios at Ruby Tuesday. We've taken our most popular items and grouped them into 6 terrific trios, like the Rage and Spices Trio, with Blackfire Steak, Caribbean Chicken, and a half rack of Sriracha Honey Ribs. 3 classic items all on one plate. Now at Ruby Tuesday.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
Tourism is Guam's #1 industry. It creates jobs and brings in spending. When a visitor comes to Guam, they spend their money on hotels, on transportation, on shopping, on dining out. They're happy they came to Guam. You know who else is happy? The hotel they stayed in and the bellman at the hotel. The tour bus drivers and tour guides. The stores they shopped at and the banks they used. The restaurant and the waitress. The supplier who delivered the ingredients and the farmer who supplied the produce. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. When tourists pay taxes, it means locals pay less. Let's make sure our local economy grows so it becomes strong and healthy. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Welcome back to Weekend Edition. Dave Delgado here with Andy Wheeler. PXC 55 in the books. Filipino fighter Stefan Lamon handling his business against Mark Abelardo.
Dude, we came in, Mark Abelardo has knocked out everybody he's faced in the PXC. We thought we were going to see a little bit more of that. Not taking anything away from Lamon, but it hasn't really been that proven in PXC. But he came out, he moved so well in the cage. He was all over the place. He'd come in with a combo and then circle away. Abelardo wasn't to lay his heavy hands on him. They had a bunch of great exchanges, and Lamon ends up getting the win. So, wow, what a surprising win for him.
JJ Ambrose, his experience paid off tonight. Early headbutt, got cut, took a left, ate it, was out for just a second, came back and still pulled off that W.
I think it's one of those where he was out, and then when he hit the floor, that woke him up, and he's kind of okay. He gathered himself. Fussell jumped on him, started trying to close the fight out, but he couldn't. JJ gathered himself, got some composure, a little bit of clench, and held on to him and ended up surviving and winning the fight.
Changing of the times, Riley Ducho, Darren Wenoyama. Now, Wenoyama, he was undefeated in the PXC. He faced a young guy that was hungry. Ducho said he paid his dues. Tonight, he collected.
Yeah, he did. He said he paid his dues. He put in the work, and he came out here. He got the big win in the first round. I thought that fight was going to go a lot longer than it did. Should have gone into the championship rounds, but he ended up getting the win. Dutro, an exciting dude. He's the champ now, so everybody's going to be gunning for him. And he said, hey, after this, going to go home. He's got a daughter on the way, so congratulations to him. And then he's going to regroup and come back and hopefully defend that title.
PXC 55 main event, Trevin 5-Star Jones, Kyle Money Uggan. This fight, 5 rounds, split decision win going to Trevin Jones.
It really was a split decision, man, and you could hear the crowd giving it to him, the judges either way. Some didn't agree with the decision, and a lot of people, you know, Trevin Jones, he's got a huge fan base in here, Kyle Uggan as well. What a grueling fight it was. These guys went the full 5-minute rounds, 25 minutes in the cage, putting everything in there, and you could see how exhausted they were afterwards. As much as they're in shape, the weight cut that Trevin had to go through, the final 2 hours of that weight cut, and then still make weight, come in here and go full 25 minutes. Amazing performance. And Trevin, now the champ.
All right, from all of us here, PXC 55 from the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. We're out, but more weekend edition right after this.
If you get nervous about having dental treatment, you're not alone. An estimated 35 million adults experience anxiety or nervousness at the simple thought of visiting the dentist. As your dentist, I strive to make your visit as painless or pain-free as possible. And I frequently tell my patients that in the 21st century, if we can give you medicines to put your tooth to sleep or medicines to take an infection or toothache away, we can surely give you something to help relax you and take all fear away. No one ought to sit in a dental chair thinking of bad childhood memories or fearing injections. If you're a dental coward, but you really do want your teeth fixed, don't wait until the pain is killing you. Come in, tell us your fears, and set up an appointment. We have convinced many that dental treatment doesn't need to be scary anymore. For your helpful dental minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. You shall never know all the good a simple smile can do.
This is what precision looks like, helping you see what's hard to see, thanks to Terrain Denali's Side Blind Zone Alert that uses radar to watch your blind spots. So it's true, Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. The new, meticulously crafted Terrain Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Or get nearly $6,700 cash back on select 2016 GMC Terrain SLE1 vehicles in stock. That's 20%. Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
The most valuable and lucrative day of the year for retailers is coming up, so it's going to get pretty crazy on Island. Black Friday is almost upon us, and Officer Paul Tapau is here, and we have safety tips for people that are going to courageously brave the lines and the malls. Officer Tapau, welcome back.
Hey, thank you for having us. Yep, it's the time of year, you know, last week we talked about anticipation of the heavy traffic and, of course, the parking stall and traffic safety. And this week, just want to touch up on your personal safety. You know, it's going to be chaotic. All the retailers out there are going to be having special hours of opening, some even opening at 12 a.m. Right after Thanksgiving. And, you know, that's the mad dash for the best bargains. But we also have to keep mindful of our safety. And one of that, of course, is because we're shopping, we're going to be carrying a lot of cash. If you do have to stop by an ATM, try to do that prior to you venturing out in the wee morning hours, so 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, because, you know, you're vulnerable. You know, if you're going to have to use an ATM, use an ATM machine that's where there's people, where there's crowds, where they can actually see you. Try not to go to isolated areas, banks that are, you know, closed for shop and everything, and go in there. That's one precautionary measures. And another way of keeping yourself safe is, of course, keeping tabs of your receipts. You know, we have a tendency of throwing our receipts away, especially if we're using our cards. Now we're seeing that cyber crimes are actually on the rise in the United States, and of course here, many victims have been hacked. You know, their accounts have been hacked because of carelessness of people discarding their receipts. So,
and you've told me before that it's actually pretty surprising the number of people who actually go dumpster diving here on the island and pick up receipts, and, you know, then, you know, they can access your information. Next thing you know, like, they're falsifying your identity and they're making charges with your credit card.
Yeah, absolutely. We fielded many complaints of customers from various banks who've actually, you know, we asked them, where have you purchased and everything? And you look at the transaction, everything is done here. And, you know, it's just their carelessness of actually discarding the receipts where people can take it, you know. And And that's one of the few things. And of course, the merchandise that you purchase, make it a point to go home and drop off. Don't leave your valuables, your high-end purchases within the vehicle, because now you're leaving yourself prone for car break-ins. And everybody wants the best bargain, but we're just forgetting that we need to take care of ourselves.
All right. Timely information as always. What's this week's crime of the week?
Unfortunately, it's the robbery that occurred near Two Lovers Point.
All right. Let's get the information and see how you can help.
On Thursday, the 27th of October, officers from the Dededo Precinct Command responded to Route 34 in Harmon by the entrance to Two Lovers Point in reference to a robbery. Now, according to the police report, at around 2:47 in the afternoon, the victim was motoring on Route 34 Harmon towards Two Lovers Point when he noticed a blue sedan, which was traveling behind him, overtook his vehicle by passing on the oncoming lane. The blue sedan then came to a sudden stop, which caused the victim to slow to a stop directly behind the subject vehicle. A male individual then exited the subject vehicle's front passenger door and proceeded to walk towards the victim's front driver's side door. The male suspect then pulled out a black handgun and began demanding money from the victim as the suspect tried to gain entry into the car to the front driver's side door. Fearful for his safety and the safety of his companion, the victim immediately drove off as the male suspect continued to hold on to the front driver's side door handle. It was then that when a tour bus came passing by that the suspect let go of the door and ran back to the waiting blue sedan. As a result of the attempted robbery, no one was harmed. The victim only described the suspect to be male local with a medium build and was in his early 20s. And the Guam Police Department and the Guam Crime Stoppers need your help in reference to this robbery. If you have any information about this crime or any other crime, please call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. You can also send a text to 486-HELP. That's 486-4357. You can also submit information of a crime through our webpage at guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615, 6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
Okay, Paul, I want to close on this this point because you've been talking thus far about consumers being safe and being wary of people that might be casing the joint, hanging around, watching what you're doing, and then preying on you. How about consumers battling with other consumers? Because, if there's that one nice piece of merchandise that's on a big sale and people start fighting for it, you can get kind of like consumer rage out there. So what should we do to make sure that everybody has a positive shopping experience?
Man, just be mature about it. If you can't get it,
easier said than done.
I know. We've seen video from the States. We've seen a video too here and everything. But it's the holiday season. Let's not be overzealous because it's the last item or it's the must-have item. Really, like what I like to tell my kids, if it doesn't worth it, it doesn't worth it. So it's not worth the effort. It's not worth the jail time for simple assault over an item, and you're forgetting that kids are there too. So please, like I said, it doesn't worth it.
Yeah, a few years ago, that Tickle Me Elmo, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody that went for that.
Yeah, the Pikachu doll was one of the go items, but really, just use sound judgment when you're out there.
And it's also good to see that you and your colleagues in the Guam Police Department, sometimes, you guys actually have a presence in the mall just to make sure that everybody, plays it safe and stays cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of our community-oriented policing, we want to make sure that the commuters and the shoppers out there are safe.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Please stay tuned. We'll see you after this break.
The 5th annual Fall Fiesta is on at Nissan. The Versa Note is one of the coolest cars under $18,000 and fuel efficient too, getting up to 40 mpg. For $76 per pay period, you won't find another car in Guam that offers so much for so little. Affordability doesn't have to be boring. The cool Versa Note, starting as low as $76 per pay period. At Nissan, we offer award-winning cars, exceptional service, and best customer experience guaranteed. Get all the details at Nissan Upper Tumon.
Do you want to get discounts at local restaurants like Lone Star, CPK, Capricciosa, Delmonico Kitchen and Bar, Manhattan Steakhouse, Tony Roma's, and lots more? What about 25% off on all natural and organic items at Payless Supermarkets daily? It's all part of Guam's largest rewards club, the Calvo's Lifestyle Club. Join today for free as an added benefit to being a Calvo's Insurance customer. Just show your Lifestyle Club card at over 50 of our rewards partners to start saving more. It's just one of the ways Calvo's Insurance helps you live a better lifestyle.
For 17 years, Cars Plus has been helping Guam ride in style. So during our anniversary sales event, we want to say thank you. Right now, buy any new Hyundai and receive up to $3,000 in bonus cash. Use your bonus cash for fuel, insurance, or even holiday gifts. You decide. Like a new Hyundai Accent, up to 38 mpg highway, starting at $13,995. Get up to $3,000 in bonus cash during Cars Plus anniversary sales event going on now in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
For the first time in 27 years, a non-luxury brand has won the prestigious J.D. Power Award for initial quality. And that brand is Kia. That's right, Kia, the automaker that brought you the funky award-winning Soul and the rugged Sportage SUV ranked highest among 33 of the world's best manufacturers. And your new Kia not only comes with award-winning quality, but it's backed up by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Quality comes standard with every Kia from Triple J. Check out our proud Kia lineup online at triplejguam.com. Get pre-approved instantly. triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday to Danny Kanata. Happy 76th birthday, Dad, Grandpa, and Great-Grandpa. We love you from the family. Ryan Titano, happy 29th birthday to our son-in-law. We love you from the family. Kayana Timinglow, happy birthday from the family. Happy 7th birthday to Isabella Sue from the family. And happy birthday to Javin. Enjoy your special day. Love your family and friends. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's all the time we have from all of us here at the Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. triplejguam.com.
Hi, today I'm Krystal Paco, and welcome to another fabulous edition of Cruising. And I say fabulous because I have with me in the passenger seat a very good friend of mine, very talented, probably one of the most talented people I know. He is an actor, he is a singer, he's a voice coach, and most of all, he's the director of Guam's latest and greatest musical production, Miss Saigon. And that's a very long intro, but here it is, Ernest Choco.
Hi, everybody.
Half a day.
Half a day to the Malik. How are you?
So first off, tell people, what is Miss Saigon about?
Okay, so Miss Saigon, as you know, is set in the Vietnam War, and it is actually, okay, first and foremost, it's an amazing story, historical story about the Vietnam War, and they took some poetic license with it and placed a love story in the middle of this musical, but it's a love story that's plausible, that could